Have you ever felt it? That burning desire. Ambition. So Grant keeps you up at night. You dream of building empires, writing bestsellers, mastering a skill, or changing the world. You're asterisk. Ambitious asterisk. Deeply, profoundly ambitious. But then the morning comes, and that ambition, it just kind of sits there. You scroll, you procrastinate, you get overwhelmed, and suddenly another day slips away. Sound familiar? If so, you are in the perfect place. Because today, on Tellies with English, we're not just telling a story. We're unveiling a truth that could absolutely change the way you see yourself and your potential, forever. Stick with me. There was once a young man named Cale. Cale lived in a small, bustling town filled with craftsmen and dreamers. He had a vivid imagination and an insatiable curiosity. His dream was to become a master storyteller, to weave narratives that captivated hearts and minds, just like the ancient bards. He spent hours lost in thought, imagining grand epics, intricate characters, and profound lessons. His mind was a library of unwritten masterpieces. But Cale never wrote. He'd buy the finest parchment, the smoothest inks. He'd even outlined complex plots in his head, down to the minutest detail. Yet, when it came to putting quill to paper, he'd freeze. The task felt monumental. The perfect opening line eluded him. The sheer volume of work ahead seemed too daunting. So, he'd tell himself, "I'll start tomorrow, when the inspiration truly strikes. Or, I need to research just a little more first." Days turned into weeks. Weeks into months. Cale grew increasingly frustrated, not with his lack of talent, but with his persistent inaction. He felt like a fraud, an ambitious dreamer cursed with an inexplicable laziness. One afternoon, sitting by the town fountain, sketching fantastical creatures in the dirt with a stick, Cale was approached by an old woman. Her name was Ilara, and she was the town's most revered gardener. Her hands were gnarled, her face lined with the wisdom of many seasons, but her eyes sparkled with warmth. "Young man," she said, her voice like rustling leaves, "I've watched you here many times." Cale, embarrassed, quickly rubbed out his drawing. "You have a fire in your heart. I see it," Ilara continued, pointing to his chest. "A great ambition, but your hands, they seem hesitant." Cale sighed. "I wish I knew why, Ilara. I want so badly to create, but I just can't seem to start. Or if I do, I quickly stop. I think I'm just lazy." Ilara smiled, a knowing, gentle smile. "Lazy?" She chuckled softly. "Or perhaps, overwhelmed by the mountain." She gestured towards the majestic, distant peaks that overlooked their town. "Look at that mountain, Cale. It's immense, isn't it? If you stood at its base and told yourself you had to move the whole thing, piece by piece, you'd never begin." "But," Ilara continued, her gaze fixed on him, "what if you just committed to moving asterisk? One tiny stone asterisk. Just one small pebble, every single day." Cale looked puzzled. "It wouldn't, not entirely," Ilara conceded. "But it would start a asterisk habit asterisk. It would prove to yourself that you are capable of action. It would build momentum." She then took Cale's hand and led him to her garden. "See this patch of soil? It's where I plant my herbs. I prepare a small patch, plant a few seeds, water them consistently, each day a little bit. And over time with tu primera vez," she gestured to a vibrant, aromatic bed of thriving herbs. "A thriving garden," Cale whispered, understanding dawning on his face. "Precisely," Ilara affirmed. "You're not lazy, Cale. You're trying to move the whole mountain at once, and that's a fool's errand. Start with one pebble. Research for 5 minutes, just asterisk. One small, consistent action, asterisk." Cale took Ilara's words to heart. He went home, not with the intention of writing a masterpiece, but of writing asterisk. One single sentence asterisk, and then another. Other days, one sentence led to a paragraph, which led to a page. He stopped waiting for inspiration and started showing up for action. He realized that laziness wasn't a character flaw, but often a symptom of feeling overwhelmed by the sheer scale of the task. By breaking his grand ambition into tiny, manageable pebbles, he tricked his mind out of its paralysis, and gradually, sentence by sentence, paragraph by paragraph, Cale started writing. And that stream, over time, carved its own path, growing wider and deeper, until it became a powerful river of stories. We're ambitious dreamers who get paralyzed by the perceived magnitude of our goals. We look at the entire mountain we want to build, the entire book we want to write, the entire business we want to launch. And that feeling of too big often manifests as inaction, which we mistakenly label as laziness. But what if you embraced the power of the pebble? Not a huge leap, not a monumental effort, but just one single, tiny action that moves you forward. Don't aim for fluency by next month. Aim to learn asterisk. One new word asterisk today. Want to write a book? Don't aim for an hour at the gym. Aim for asterisk. 5 minutes of movement asterisk. They trick your brain into feeling success. However small, establish a habit. You'll find that your laziness wasn't laziness at all. And the only way to conquer a mountain isn't with one giant leap, but with 1,000 tiny, consistent steps. So, if you're ambitious but feel trapped by inaction, remember, Cale and Alara, don't wait for motivation to strike. Take one small, single step. Motivation will often follow asterisk, action, asterisk. What's your one pebble you'll commit to today? Let us know in the comments below. Seriously, write it down. Make it real. If this story resonated with you, if it sparked a new way of thinking, please hit that like button. Share it with someone who might need to hear it. And for more stories that inspire and empower, make sure you subscribe to Talis with English, because your ambition isn't lazy. It just needs a different path. Start small. Start now, and watch your world change. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next tale.